Hello again and welcome to a new video. This is our September 2017 BMW 420d M Sport Gran Coupe with the Auto ZF gearbox. This car's covered 44,000 miles with just 2 owners from new. It's finished in Estrel Blue Metallic. We're going to take you around the car and show you basically what we've done with this car. The whole car's been detailed to a very high level. All of the bodywork panels have been machine polished to bring out the best of the paintwork and eradicate any little hairline scratches that you get when you wash your car basically with your sponge and you're moving all that dust around on the surface. It causes a lot of like mild sort of marring and swirl marks. So all of that's been taken out and it's come up really beautifully. So we've also fitted, by the way, we've fitted the black gloss grills in the front, which make it look a lot sportier. It's got some really nice spec on this car as well, which we're going to go through. But first of all, I'm just going to bring you in and show you the paintwork. And you can see that really lovely shine. And the bodywork's in really nice condition. There's a couple of chips just down at the front there where you can see the reflection of that light. They've been touched in and we'll polish over those later, just let that harden up. But other than that, if I just come across the front, it's pretty clear. I mean, you're going to pick up stone chips, but the nice thing is that it's not peppered. It's really clean, as you can see. It's in really nice condition. And the windscreen the same. The windscreen isn't peppered. You get little dots, you know, where stones hit the windscreen, but nothing bad on there. So we'll just come back out. And the front bumper, again, very minimal in the way of little dots or anything. There's not really too much. A couple of little stone chips. Don't know if you can see that. Let's just try and get that in front. A couple of little dots just on the edge there that have been touched in. With the bright lights above, what you'll see is you get a different reflection from the touch up, and it looks a little bit flatter, so it tends to stand out more. Obviously, when you come back, you can just see how beautiful the car looks. But the aim of the video is to be as transparent as I can and show you the very small, you know, little marks on the car, which are very minimal, as I mentioned. But as you can see, it's in beautiful condition, as are all the cars here. You can just see all the way down the side there how nice and straight the panels are. I think what we'll do, we'll come round, we're going to start, but let's take it up onto the roof. Another area to check out. No bird dropping stains, no scratches. I'm just holding it there for a while so you can see just how nice it is. You can see the reflection. If I see anything, I will point it out. So if you think I'm going too fast, you're not missing anything. Now, the car has the M Sport Plus package, which gives you the bigger 19-inch wheels, the sun protection glass, you can see at the back, see how much darker it is at the back, and actually reflects the heat back out of the car. So you get the 19-inch, this has got the 704M alloys, which is the newer ones. Around about this age, they changed from a 442 style of alloy to the later 704, which this has on it. We've got the M Sport brakes. I'll bring you in and show you the wheels. All the wheels are in lovely condition. Now, we'll just mention that the discs are actually not that old, but there is some surface rust on there. Maybe we should have just driven it around the car park a bit, but it's literally where it's been washed and parked up for a couple of days while we were doing other things. And there's no lipping on those discs. It just needs to be driven, basically. Let's clean that off. And the brake pads have just been replaced as well. Again, looking down the side of the car, you can see just how nice and straight all those panels are. Let's bring it round a little bit more for you. No ripples, a lovely clean shine, which is what you want to see. We've also got comfort access. So if you look on the top of the handle here, there's like a little grill bit. So when you've got the key in your hand, you can put your finger on there and the door will lock. There's the button. If you put your hand inside, it unlocks. Show you the rear wheel. So it's running on the Bridgestone Potenzas, which are run flats, which you get on 90% of the BMWs. You can obviously opt to go non-run flat. You need to change them at least on the same axle, and preferably all four, but you could change the wheels on the same axle. All around the back of the car, really lovely condition. If I bring you up onto the boot lid here, you can see just how nice that's come up. All lovely and clean. And the bumper as well, if I come down here, this grey section, no damage on there, all in really nice condition. No damage on the top of the bumper on that edge, look. That's all in lovely condition. These are all areas that are quite common to damage. All of the exhaust pipes have come up really nicely. Let's just come back out, give you an idea of the back. I think while we're here, press and hold the boot button. It's electronic tailgate. And also, because it's got the comfort access, you have two buttons on the tailgate, so you can actually lock the car from the boot by pressing that padlock button. Usually you've just got the tailgate button, so that's the reason for the two buttons there. We've got the extended storage, which gives you the elasticated strap there. You get a 12-volt socket, so you can plug like a little fridge storage unit. You've got these little hooks for your carrier bags, which just neatly push away. And as you can see, all the carpets are very nice and clean. And then we've got the, what you might call the cargo net, still in its bag there, which you can lock into these little plastic eyes. And then if you put anything in the back, you can hold it down with the cargo net so it doesn't slop all over the show. So if we press, let's just press the boot button, and then that comes down and closes. All around the petrol cap is in really nice condition. There's no scratches. Obviously people sometimes bit careless or just by accident will scratch the paintwork with the fuel nozzle. But as you can see, no damage. So all nice and clean in there. And if I lock the car and unlock it, you'll notice we've got the LED lights under the handles as well. Again, looking down the side here, really nice condition. All of the door edges, no damage. Just show you the rear wheel on this side as well. All in lovely condition. And let's do the front wheel as well. And that one's in lovely condition as well. So all the wheels are lovely. The car's all been serviced. All our cars are test driven. They all have like a little traffic light system. Green is it's all the servicing's up to date, and the little T means it's been test driven. So our cars go up the motorway, driven at speed to make sure that there's no vibration, all the tracking and the wheel balance is good on the car. So 2 pulls for the bonnet latch, and then you can just lift the bonnet straight up on the BMWs. And then all of this engine bay is cleaned very carefully using WD-40 or the equivalent brand, depending what's on offer, as we go through so much of it. A really good product to clean the engine bay because it's nice and safe to use. And then a light steam clean just to flush that away. And all of the Gullies are hoovered beforehand to make sure there's no leaves in there. We don't want a jet wash in there with leaves because it will just cause a sludge that will block up the waterways, because they basically travel down the back behind the plastic inner wheel arch lining there and dribble out onto the floor. So if you get a lot of rubbish in there, it will eventually fill that up. And what can happen is the water in here can then fill up and then travel into the car through some of the holes where the wiring go through and so forth. So really important to make sure that it's hoovered out. Excuse me. Now on the top of the headlights, you've always got these converters on here, and that's for the high beam assist. So basically, when you've got the high beam assist on, the camera up on the windscreen will actually see the lights coming from the cars in the other direction and dip the main beam automatically. Now the twin power turbo on the 4 cylinders, that relates to the actual turbo. It's not 2 turbos, but it's a twin scroll turbo. So what it does, it takes the exhaust gases from 2 cylinders and puts them through on one side of the turbo and the other 2 on the other side. So it has like 2 inlets into the turbo. And the idea is to allow the air to flow through a lot quicker. It's a lot more responsive, gives you better MPG. So it's a much more efficient turbo. You can see also, if you come up here, just how clean, excuse the light there, just how clean it all is under here as well. Well, they take great pride in making our cars as nice as they can be for the next owner. As you can see, everything's gleaming under the bonnet as well. So that's the bonnet, that's the engine bay rather. This is the bonnet. And always good to, when you're going to close the bonnet, bring it down to about there and then just let it drop. Because you've got 2 catches either side and it will just drop nice and neatly into position. You don't want to lower it down gently and start pushing on it, because that will put a dent in the bonnet if you're not careful. Just going to show you the headlights here. Again, if you look at the lenses, they're not all pitted. They're in really nice condition, nice clean lenses. They've not been pitted, like they haven't driven behind a salt lorry or something like that. So all looking really nice there. Okay, so I think we've covered much of the outside. So let's have a look inside the car. So we'll start off with the passenger front door card. Straight away you can see that we've got the HARMAN KARDON sound system, which is part of the M Sport Plus package. Now that gives you a much better amplifier. You see you've got 2 speakers in that door there. You've got 1 up in front of the sat-nav system. There are actually speakers also under the seats here, and obviously more in the back. I think it's a total of about 16 speakers. So the sound system is nice and clear and a lot better than the standard one. We've got the black gloss trim with the brushed aluminium door handle. There's no damage on the door card, and then we've got the puddle lights down at the bottom, and you can just see that nothing goes unleft. It's all lovely and clean under there. And the door shuts and the seal, all in really nice condition. All of the rubbers around the outside, no damage, no tearing. Now another extra on this car, we've got the electric seats, which you don't usually get on the 420. Again, it's an extra. And you've got the rocker switch just at the back there, which inflates the bolsters on the sides. Nice black Dakota leather, BMW mats. And then the headrests, which will lean forward and you pop them back with this little butt on the side. Then got the iDrive wheel, where you can write on the top of that to input the address for the sat-nav or search for music or other items. Heated seats, dual climate control. I'll show you more of that when we move around to the other side. Just going to open up the back door on this side. And for those of you that haven't looked at a Gran Coupe before, you'll notice that the doors are pillarless, it's just the glass, which is quite nice. They're a lot sleeker than a 3 Series. And the door card again, you see the speakers in there, bring you down. Puddle lights again, all nice and clean under there. And then the door shut and the seal. That's just a reflection there. If I move the camera, you can see that those reflections disappear. All the rubbers all the way around. And there's no damage from trapped seat belts on the edge here. All of the leather, really nice. You always get these little creases. It's leather after all. No different to your shoes. It's just little stretch marks when people sit in them. You get slight, slight little baggy sections, but they're not really baggy. It's just, just the way they go. Just showing you the back of the seats there. I'm not too sure if that's just a mark. It's just a very minor. I think some of that just wiped off actually. It might have just been a bit of polish. And all the centre air vents down there from the centre console, they're in really nice condition. They haven't been damaged. Sometimes they get caught by people's feet. People damage the vents. Got the headrests in the back there. Let's try and get there we go, the light. So we'll come round to the other side now. Let's open up this door. Again, the door card, really nice condition. All the puddle lights working, as you can see, nice and clean down there. No damage on the handles. It's a very, very tiny, let's get it in focus. Slight little tiny little indentation there, very minor. It's not actually ripped, it's just like a little dent, probably something that's been in the back, just knocked onto it or something like that. But sorry, it's quite hard to keep the camera in focus, talk and think about what you're going to say next in these videos. So we'll just take you around here. Let's show you the back of the seats on this side. And obviously the centre armrest comes down as well, and there's cup holders in the centre. That springs open. Let's just pop that open for you. So you've got some cup holders in the back there as well. All the mats are in there. And if we move to the driver door, I'm just going to turn those lights off for a second so it stops dinging. And this is the door that gets most of the use, and it's in really nice condition. Yep, no damage down the edge. All lovely and clean under there as well. And then the door shut. No damage, no wear on the edges or anything. All nice and clean up through the hinges and the rubber. And the reason I show these rubbers is sometimes they can fray. Where people get in and out, they can just fray and eventually they can wear through. But not on this car, it's all in lovely condition. And on the driver's side, we've got the memory buttons as well. So 2 different memory positions. Just going to show you the bolster there, doesn't have any nasty wear. Seats all in nice condition. I think we've got retractable armrests in this one. I'll show you that when we jump in the car in a minute. And we also have folding electric mirrors, another option. And they're also anti-dazzle. So we can press the button. We might have to just turn the ignition on actually. In fact, I might just have to start it, so bear with me. So that folds both the mirrors in. Press it again, they come out. You can also fold them in by pressing and holding the lock button in the middle, and then they'll fold in, and then when you open the car, they'll open out again. The other feature is the auto dip on the left-hand mirror. Depending which side you leave the rocker button here, which does your left and your right, mirror. When you go into reverse, depending what position it's in, it will automatically dip the near side mirror so you can see the curb. And if you don't want it to dip, just switch it to the other side. It's going to move the seat back. Now the steering wheel, again, is in really nice condition. All of the leather, it's not got any wear on it, no scratches or tears. And again, this is where sometimes people have keys in their hand, they get in the car, grab the steering wheel, they've got something in their hand, and you can see like scratches and little marks on the leather steering wheel, but it's in really nice condition. Part of the extended storage gives you this cubby hole as well. Got auto lights, front and rear fog lights, auto wipers. Okay, so we'll jump in. I'm going to close this door. Obviously the car's in the showroom, so get a little bit more noise in here. Let me just turn the lights back to auto. Turn that. There we go. So we have 44,323 miles. Now the full black panel display, if I look just here, we've got, let's try and get this in focus. Okay, 1 second. There you go. Can you see that says mode on there? So when you press the mode button, this window comes up, and by pressing it again, that was for external devices like your Bluetooth. As you can see, the radio just came on. So there you go. There's the DAB channels. And with the little rocker button here, you can then scroll through the DAB channels and select whichever station you want. If you go mode again, FM, AM, music collection. Now this is the hard drive within the professional media, which is about 80 gigs, so it holds a lot of music, and you can just pop a CD into the CD player here and upload it into that system, so you don't need to carry the CDs around with you. We've got dual climate control, heated seats, 3-stage. We've got speed limiter and cruise control, so the top button for the speed limiter, and again with the rocker button on that side you can adjust the speed, as you can see in green there. Turn the speed limiter off. The bottom button is for the cruise control, which is now on, little green logo at the top. You can set that when the car's in motion above, I think it's above 30 or 40 miles an hour. Now we have the professional media, and this is the later version, so it's touch screen. So just show you, you can touch on there. You can move what they call the tiles around. Some people might call them different things, we call them tiles. And you can put them wherever you want. And then down here, you've got your iDrive wheel, where let's say you can write with your finger on the top. You've got shortcuts, menu will take you to the full menu, all of the tiles. Media, communication is your phone, map or nav is like a shortcut straight to where you can put your destination, etc. And then you've got your back button and then option for options. So if we come up here, now by pressing some of those buttons more than once, like we've already gone into menu, press it again, and as you can see, it's brought a different window up. So we're going to go into, in fact, let's go into map. I'm just going to say, okay, so we've got it on split screen. So as you can see, you can split the screen, and you can choose down this side what you want on the smaller part of the screen. Like so. Now this car has the Wi-Fi hotspot and the wireless charging. You've also got an extra USB down here. Now it's not fitted with the Apple CarPlay, but it can be easily uploaded onto this car. There's lots of people that do it in the local area. If you're looking to buy this car and you wanted to have it fitted, depending what's in the car, it's anywhere between about 120 to about 220 pounds. Depending what software they need to update, because it takes a different amount of time to upload, etc. So you could have Apple CarPlay put in here. If we get it done, we can actually get Apple CarPlay to fit the whole screen, because the standard BMW one would only give you this part of the screen, and this would be blank, or you could choose something else here. So if you're interested in Apple CarPlay, you can't have Android Auto on the BMWs, so you might need to change your phone if you've got an Android Auto and you want the Apple CarPlay. So okay, going into navigation now, address input. This is where you can either use the voice control, or as the little logo here suggests, you can write with your finger on the top and put the destination in. We'll put a postcode in. Now if you need a space in between for the postcode, do a line from one side to the other, and that will give you a space. I've just realised I've put an S in, not a 5, so let's just go back.
S.
It doesn't like my handwriting.
S.
Really doesn't like my handwriting.
S.
Okay, so what I'll do, as it doesn't like my handwriting, oh, it wants I know what it wants. It wants PO3.
3.
That's what it wanted. There you go.
Space.
Space. Then the 5.
5. R. Y.
There you go. And then street. And you can already see it's brought up her address here. And then route guidance. And we're already at that address. Now we're in, I'll just take it over to the left here actually and bring it down. Map views, I can't remember. So we were in we're in perspective. We put it in direction of travel. We can then use these buttons as shortcuts. You can see I'm resting my finger on there gently. I'm assigning it by pressing and holding it. It's now memorized that window with that map layout, and then if we go to perspective, it's now changed, and we'll memorize that on number 8. Because basically number 7, we've got looking down. When you're in a more built-up area, this view is a lot easier to judge how many roads ahead you need to turn left or right, etc. So by having the shortcuts there, you can just flick from one to the other really quickly. You can also set telephone numbers in there as well. You could set your DAB channels in there, but I find them very easy to look through on the media. Just wanted to remember we've got all the books in there. Sorry, that might have been a bit out of focus. So we've got the wireless charging here. So this just slots back, your phone goes in there, and the little light flashes blue, and that will charge your phone. You will notice that, yeah, that is the sliding armrest, that's an option. That the larger iPhone, the Plus, won't quite fit in there. So you do also have a USB under there, or you can put a USB device here. This will charge faster, because I think there's a bit more power going through the 12 volt than there is with the USB. Let's get that in focus. That's in there. You can use one or the other. We've got the ZF 8-speed gearbox. This button here, your parking sensors will come up automatically, but you can also see the display there, so you can use that button to turn it on and off if you need to. And then we've got our drive mode button just ahead there. Let's try and get this in focus a bit better. Sorry, it's a bit hard with the, there you go, a bit of shadow always helps. Economy through to sport. Right, so we're going to economy. This is the most efficient ECU setting, and you can configure it. You'll see down here, we've got a percentage of efficiency. We've got it set at 75 miles an hour. It gives you like a little warning if you go over that, if you're looking to get good economy. If you set it, I think it's around about 50 miles an hour, and you'll see that's gone to 100%. Eco Pro, climate, if I take that on and off, you can see it's the amount of power from your aircon, and it makes it 5% change in the efficiency. So if you're looking for the efficiency, you can have that selected. And coasting, basically, when you come off the throttle, the car uses hardly any engine braking. It's almost like it goes into neutral, and so you can come off the throttle a lot earlier up to a junction, and that gives you an increase in your MPG. So we turn it on a little bit back to 100%. And what you'll also notice, in fact, we need to turn off the navigation. Let's just do that quickly. Where are we? Stop route guidance. Okay. So down here in the center, you'll see the blue fuel symbol. And when you're in economy, it will show you just how many more miles you're going to get with the fuel in the car driving in that mode. And that sort of creeps up the longer you're using that. And then on the blue section in the right hand clock, when you come off the throttle, you'll see the little needle move across, and basically that's when it charges the battery. So it uses the wasted energy of you coming off of the throttle to charge the battery, rather than charging it continuously, which is taking power from the engine. I think we've covered pretty much as we need to in here. Just want to show you the seat from this side. So we've got a lot of bright sun coming through the lighting, the skylights, but it's all in really nice condition. Gearbox, normal drive mode. On the left, this is sport for the gearbox. It will change up later in the revs to give you full power. And when it'll hold it down a gear as well, because you've got 8-speed. So if you're cruising in 8th gear and you put it in sport, it might drop it to 6th even. So it's more responsive when you throttle away. Going back to that economy, I forgot I didn't finish in here. Comfort is the balance setting of everything, because this adjusts the ECU for the engine as well, and the weight of the steering wheel. And then we've got Sport or Sport Plus. This is where you can see the sport dials. If I give the engine a little rev, you can see the power come up on there. Okay, so they're around about 181, or they might say 184 PS or something like that, but it's usually about 181 brake horsepower. And we do have a Celtic remap that will increase that power. I think it's around about the 220 mark. So if you want a bit of extra power, that's something that we can look at for you as well. You hear the cars ticking over really nicely in the showroom. As I say, we've got a lot of bright, I'll show you, it's a lot of light coming up there, so apologies if there's a lot of reflection in the video. But a really nice looking car, all ready to go. So if you need a PCP or finance or anything, please give me a call. We've got some really fantastic warranty packages as well. You can take out a warranty now, anything up to 4 years, and really good cover. Too much to explain in this video. I think it's gone on for long enough now. So any questions, give me a call, and look forward to speaking to you. Take care. Bye then.